Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne from the Oddie Goddess. I was just saying how much better I feel, but obviously still need a little bit more improvement. Can't talk properly. The bonus read coming through here. So let's get on with your bonus read. I'm going to use the Connolly Tarot here. There's a good feeling when you've been unwell and you've sort of been in that little bit of a grey space, you know, where you're healing. And then all of a sudden you start to feel better and you feel like you can take on the world, and you come bouncing out of the bedroom. I'm feeling great. I'm ready to take on the world. And then you're like, no, I'm not really ready yet. But if your mind tricks you and it sort of gets you going, and then you realize your body's just not quite up with your mind. That's where I'm at this morning. My mind is just, oh my goodness, I'm just so full of energy and tracking. And it's really funny because I can remember, and some of you women will relate to this, after having a baby. I was so excited after having a baby, especially with the first one, so excited. And I jumped out of bed and collapsed in a little puddle on the floor. I just think my mind was just so excited about the prospect, but my poor body was done. I think I had 27 hours of labour or something the first time round. So it's quite interesting how your mind tricks your body, and probably a really good indicator for people who don't understand that. You know, that people that push themselves so hard because mentally they feel able, but don't respect their physical body enough. So when their physical body gets unwell, they find it hard to understand because their mind feels okay. And you're like, but I feel okay. But you may have driven your physical body too hard. And I think it's a lesson we have to learn, that our mind and our body, although they are two very separate things, they cannot completely work apart from each other. So we have to respect our bodies as well. So that means, you know, filling them with the right nutrients and energy, and generally looking after ourselves, because our mind won't do that for us. And our mind is a little bit of a trickster. It will have you feeling a certain way when perhaps it's not quite right. So the mind has great capacity. But like I always say to people, your body can live without your mind. We know that. But your mind cannot live without your body. So it's equally important to look after both, especially your physical body. Unfortunately, it's not something we're taught to do. We're taught to be very logical. All right, beautiful split. We have the Connolly Tarot. This is the card of the Star. Now, personally, you know me, I love every card in the tarot deck. Really, the only one I don't like a whole lot is the Three of Swords, but you know what tells a story, and that's the main thing. But the Star tells a very different story. The Star talks of health, faith, healing, destiny, your wishes coming into fruition, finding your path, moving in the right direction. It's a beautiful card because it tells me something is about to open up to you here that you've silently wished for. Okay, so behind that we have the Three of Cups. Now the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It's a card of reunion. It's a card of celebrating with family and friends. Can also be the card of a third-party relationship if you've been dealing in something like that. Maybe some sort of wish you've had around that has started to happen. Something is happening here to change something. So let's keep looking. We do have a wish coming in here. So in both readings this morning, you've seen the wish card. So something is definitely coming your way, something that you've wanted. Don't give up on what you're doing though, because sometimes these readings take a little while to come around. So don't think that because we've seen the wish card and we have the Star card here that things are changing directly. This may be a sign of things to come, in which case you need to keep your eye on the prize. You need to focus on what you're doing. Don't give up. You're doing the right things. You're moving in the right direction. We have a brand new start coming in here with this Ace of Pentacles. And behind that we have Two of Wands. So there is something moving you in a new direction here. Something you have really wanted. I feel this is talking more about celebration, but for some of you may be able to relate to the Three of Cups here. But there's this feeling here that something is coming together that you have been waiting for a while, and it's bringing in some sort of wish, hope of whatever you wanted, but it's putting you on the path you need to be on. So there seems to be some sort of change of direction here. Now, for some of you, this is about the energy. So for some of you, this could be a new work project. It could be a new business. It could be the gaining of knowledge. Could be finally getting into university. But whatever this is for you, you have been wanting it for such a long time, and it's about to come your way. It will steer you in a slightly different direction, but the direction was aligned. Oh, I shouldn't have looked behind. I'm too curious. Alice in Wonderland. This is putting you on the path you need to be on for your journey. This isn't that you've been on the wrong path. The path was about to come to a crossroads anyway, okay? Because you're going to have a choice which way to go. But it's aligned with your destiny. And now I have the Tower, so I shouldn't have looked. So something here is going to rock your boat. For some of you, this has to do with a relationship for sure. This is a soulmate tie with someone, something that they're bringing to you, this change of direction, this promise of something in the future, some sort of wish coming true. You may have someone who's released another situation to be able to move towards you, but dreams are coming true here. Okay, I really love the Tower, and I have this thing. There's a few cards that sort of just sneak in when you think you've got the story right, just to sort of change it a little bit. So it's not that this changes the story, but I feel like with the Tower there is something very surprising about this particular thing. So for some of you, whatever this is for you, maybe you have not expected it to come to fruition. Maybe you never expected it to come your way. And maybe you've dealt with it, you've moved on, you've got on with your life thinking that's the end of it, it's done. It could have been your dream job. It could have been your dream person. Whatever it was here, you let it go thinking that was it was done. But no, we have the Ace of Swords. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know this is my favorite ace. I love it. It's about having clarity. It's about seeing your way forward, forging a life for yourself. It's about taking things in hand and going into battle for you. So it's about standing in your truth. So something here is coming to light to allow you to fully live the life you were meant to live. Okay, and there's that darned Three of Swords. I shouldn't have said anything, should I? There's definitely something to do with the third party for some of you here, because I've had the Three of Swords and I've had the Three of Cups. So there's no denying that you were maybe dealing with someone who maybe years ago, months ago, made a choice to be with someone else rather than to be with you. It could also be that there was some reason why they couldn't be with you at that time. It may have been because they lived too far away. For some of you, this may have been some sort of pain around religion, culture, some sort of family situation. I just heard that somebody may have been nursing a sick relative, or someone in their family that has been released now. Whatever this is, someone's releasing something to come towards you. They know their truth now. They're very, very clear about what they want. So they've taken this sword out of the Three of Swords. Look, someone's removed that third sword. So they're now able to move toward you with great clarity, understanding. Okay, look at this, Eight of Wands. That's what you want to see. Fast movement, messages coming through, information coming to hand. Okay, so we have the Hierophant here. Someone really means business here. Whatever this is for you, and I feel like now this is about some sort of connection you have with someone, but it's just clearing away. Someone's cleared everything out of their way, but they've mostly cleared their own mind to understand what they want here. They've cleared their own energy. I want to sit on it, but I keep going. Okay, Two of Pentacles, there's a choice. Okay, after a period of being remorseful, probably looking back at life, trying to work out what they want, you've had someone who's been through some either depression or sadness here because they couldn't pave the way the way that they wanted to. I have the card of change and transition. There is some sort of change happening with somebody you're dealing with. If it isn't a person for you, something has changed dramatically here. It's like completely flipped itself to bring you what you needed. Here comes the Magician again. So you may be dealing with someone who's very, very powerful, and you could be a Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, or they could be. I love that energy there. He's like, da-da, here I am. Sorry, but that's what it looks like to me. If you could see me, I'd stand up and do that for you because I feel like that needs to be animated. But this person's sort of looking at you as if to say, you weren't expecting me. You've probably been really focused on your job and your money, and you weren't expecting me to walk back into your life, but dang, here I am. Oh, too funny. Sorry, I amuse myself sometimes. Okay, Two of Swords. I obviously make other people laugh too, because people say to me something about something I've said, and I think I am a little bit wacky. Just work with me here. We have the Two of Swords here, so this seems, it's always like, oh, why do you do that? It's like everything is going beautifully here, and then I get the Two of Swords. Okay, so there's some sort of stalemate here, but I need to work out why. Something is happening for you here. For some of you, you could have been dealing with someone who had another situation. They needed to clear off their platter before they came towards you. But certainly realizing a wish here, definitely with both those wish cards sitting there, there's a destiny here. A brand new start, something stable, which is going to steer you in a slightly different direction. It has to. Your life is changing here because it was meant to with the Star. So it's not like you're walking a different path or you were on the wrong path. It doesn't happen. It just means that at this time in your life, you were meant to make some sort of choice to move yourself in a different direction. We do have the Tower card here. So this says to me here that someone's coming back in for you here. But I feel like with these two cards here, it's like you didn't expect it to happen, okay? This person's surprising you here. I think that perhaps you always thought it might. Maybe your mind has sort of gone there occasionally to think about it. But I think with this Tower here, that says to me something here was not expected at all. So very, very interesting. All right, let's get into it and put a few more cards on it. I do have the Two of Swords here. So this person who's coming towards you, or this situation, is something that's going to bring great stability to your life. And because it's bringing in this great stability, what it's doing is it's allowing you to live in your full capacity here. So it's sort of like whatever it is changing for you here is helping you to become the person you were meant to become, or even closer to your true self. So there's definitely the very strong feeling here that this is going to throw a spanner in the works for you a little bit. And maybe that's why we've got this Two of Swords here. Because I'm thinking maybe you've moved on with your life and you're not really sure how to work this energy anymore. Now, I know people, you know, say to me often, oh, if he came back or she came back, you know, I'd welcome her with open arms. Well, it doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't work that way. I know that's what we dream. That's the romantic vision for us. We love someone, we want them back in our lives. But in the time you've been apart, you've both done different things. So very often, two people coming back together may not even recognize each other anymore. Because you fell in love with the romantic version, which may not be the right version for you. But if you've been doing all the work and focusing on what you've been doing, you may feel quite self-sufficient now and may not feel this person fits in. I think from looking here, this person has been through their own stuff. They've probably been working at what they needed to, and I do think they've raised their vibration because it looks like they've been through quite a lot of depression. And there's certainly some balance that needed to be brought in after this situation. But these situations are there to help us grow, to be better versions of ourselves, to really understand our truth and our place in the world. So, you know, you may have already got past all this because there's a decision to be made, and it's not an easy decision. Oh, okay. So we have the world coming out here. So the world talks about things hidden from view. The universe is still keeping stuff up her sleeve here. I do have the Page of Cups and I do have the Eight of Cups. So what that says to me here with these three cards is the decision that you make is yours to make. This can very, very much be a sort of like this pathway you're going to choose is your decision. It may not be one that is already foretold. It may be that either path to take is the right one. But I feel like for some of you here, you're walking away from this offer. So it's possible you're thinking which way to go here. Page of Wands, Four of Swords, Two of Cups. You know this person is really important to you here because the Two of Cups and the Tower is back here. So this is what you're doing with this information. Sorry, my nose is running while I'm talking. Sorry. So there's this feeling here that the offer is here, but you're contemplating here whether this just changes everything. Changes everything for you here. Okay. Because there's something about the offer that's coming in or the situation that's coming in. For some of you, you may have already gone in a different direction with your work, your job, your business. And maybe the idea of this Tower and something coming back in, if for you it's a job or a work situation, may completely throw everything into disarray. You may not want to do that anymore. You may be very comfortable where you are. So there's some sort of decision you need to make as to whether it's the right path for you now. It seems very sad, doesn't it, when you've stayed and waited for someone for such a long time, but you've romanticized. That person may have changed a great deal in that time. Okay, so I have the card of the choice coming out here, which was exactly the card that came out for the What's Cracking reading. I'm not going to read it because basically it says it's your choice. Have a great day.